Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, and freaks of nature of all ages. My name is Brian Bad Hippie Jackson, and welcome to the second WIP for my first-person build of Treasures of the Dead in UDK. Now, in the last episode, we went over a bit of a history of the game. I got into how I was building it and why I was building it that way. Right now, we did a little bit on lighting. We covered materials and textures for a little bit. And I think I got some good stuff covered in there. We also talked a little bit about the fact that I want to set in an achievement system. So that's where we're going to start in this episode, is the achievement system. All right, so let me go ahead and widen this guy out a little bit. So this monk is part of the achievement system. There will be 15 levels in the game. There will be 10 of these collectibles in every level. If you can get all 10 collectible monks in a level, you will get an achievement. If you can find all 150 in the game, you can get an achievement for that as well. There will be achievements for the treasure. Now, in this particular level, I have a total of 80 pickups set in, and that does not include the portal key or the 3 idols, and I'll get to those in a little bit. That only includes the treasure and the 10 collectible statues. So there are loose gold collectibles. These guys right here. We go to unlit. You'll see these guys right here, my loose gold collectibles. There are 35 of those in this level. And then there are also the treasure boxes right there. There are 35 of those in this level. So there's 35 boxes to open, 35 pieces of loose gold to find, and 10 collectible statues to find, for a total of 80 pickups in this level alone. Now, when I said portal key and idols, if I get out of game mode so we can see what's placed in, I am just going to now go up here and hide all my sprites. All right. We have 3 idols. And every single level will be set up with the same primary objectives. You have to find the 3 idols so that you can access the portal area. So in this one, the 3 idols, what they will do is when you find them and get them placed, 2 of them will raise up these blocks right here. There's a sequence of them that go up to this high and create a staircase so that you can get up to the center area where the portal is. The 3rd idol will lower that gate, and I still need to, oh crap, don't do that. Blank, raise back up. And I still need to retexture that gate because it's got the original texture on it, but I can fix that. And that will let you access the portal area. Now, when you get to the portal area, the level change trigger, which is, oh, I hid my sprite so you can't see it. Duh. Anyways, the level change trigger is right up here. That will not be active, and these portals will be hidden. To unhide the portals so that, you know, it looks like you've actually got a portal there, and activate the level change trigger, you will have to find and place the portal key. Now, that portal key is actually the U damage pickup that came bundled with UDK, but I really like it, so I'm going to keep it and I'm going to use it. So you've got to go to the outer areas and find your idols. When you pick up an idol, it will do 2 things. The first thing it will do is it will light the torches where that idol is supposed to be placed. So if you come into this area and your torches are not lit, then you do not have that idol. You cannot place it. If these torches are lit, then you do have the idol and you can place it. And then when you place the idol, it will either lower the gate or raise up a section of the stairs. There are 4 of those outer areas, 3 with idols and 1 with the portal key. And once you collect all those things, then you can place them and it will activate the portal and it will activate the level change trigger, and then you will be able to go into the next level. Now, one of the other things that I want to do for my achievement system is I'm going to have an achievement for beating the game without ever turning on your flashlight, and I'm going to have an achievement for beating the game without using your HUD, which is why I set this piece of Kismet up the way I set it up. So when the game starts, you will have opening instructions. Now these are just announcements right now, but I will replace them with better stuff once I get my custom HUD done. But these are the instructions that will play as soon as you start. The instructions on the left hand side in brackets are instructions for keyboard and mouse. The instructions on the right hand side in parentheses are instructions for the Xbox controller. So this game is compatible with controller or keyboard and mouse. You don't have to go into any menu to make any selections for that. You just simply grab whichever one you like the best and play. You can switch off in the middle of gameplay without even having to pause the game. Just let go of the keyboard and mouse, pick up your controller, and keep tooling right along, and it'll work just fine. Or vice versa. Put the controller down, grab the keyboard and mouse, keep tooling right along, it'll work just fine. So the instructions will play. This one will tell you that you need to collect and place 3 stone idols to access the center portal area. And then this one will tell you that you need to collect and place the portal key to activate the portal and enter the catacombs and go into the next area. But if we go into enemies, where I have my enemies set in right now, you will see that there is a 60-second delay between when the level loads and the enemies spawn in. And in this level, I've got 15 enemies. The outdoor levels are going to be set up very much like Deathmatch, and the indoor levels are going to be set up differently. I'll get into that in a minute. But the reason I have that 60-second delay there is A, so that you will have time to read all of your instructions before the bots start shooting at you, and B is after you have read your instructions, if you disable and turn off your HUD before the bots start shooting at you and never turn your HUD back on, then you will be able to get the no HUD achievement. If you never turn your flashlight on, you will be able to get the no flashlight achievement. Alright, so we got that going on there. Now the differences in the way the levels are going to work, the outdoor levels are all going, and there will be 4 of them, the outdoor levels are all open environments. They're not huge open environments, but they're all open environments. There are 0 checkpoints in the outdoor levels. They are set up like Deathmatch, because in the realm of the catacombs of the dead, which is where Zed finds himself, it is like a punishment for tortured souls who thirst for blood. Their entire existence is fight, kill, die horribly, respawn, and do it all over again. So with 15 bots on the map at all times, you can never clear all the bots off of this map, and you will be doing everything under fire, which I think adds a good element to it. So for those people who like the PvP kind of games, Unreal Tournament, Fortnite, Overwatch, PUBG, those, PvP kind of games, that still gives you that type of gameplay. When you die, you will randomly respawn at the same locations where the bots randomly respawn. There are 15 spawn points on the map, and you will randomly respawn at one of those points, because even though the map is an open environment, it's not a huge open environment, so it doesn't matter where you get killed and where you respawn. It's still going to be a good game. It's still a good challenge, but it's not so much travel time that it's a major pain in the ass. I kind of like that idea. The indoor levels are going to be set up a bit differently. Alright, so let's pop open level 2 real quick. And the indoor levels are the exact same. What I started with was the exact same maps that I used in the original Treasures of the Dead, which was an 11 level game, and it was all these mazes. There were no outdoor levels, so the outdoor levels are new to this build. But I started with the exact same maps, which were only 1 level because it was a top down, and then I added in upper floors to expand on the map, and I changed things around. But still, let's go into game mode just so it looks nicer. there will be checkpoints in this one because the indoor levels are going to be more on that Tomb Raider kind of thing. And, you know, it's going to be area to area, checkpoint to checkpoint. The enemies will not all spawn in at the same time. The enemies will spawn in by trigger. So when you hit a trigger in a certain area, it will spawn in X number of predefined bots in a specific area. Then you will be able to eliminate all the bots in that area and finish searching at your leisure, okay, until it's time to go into the next area and then trigger up the next set of bots. There will be checkpoints, so if you die, you don't always start at the beginning. Your progress will be checkpointed, and in the end, in every level from level 2 all the way to the end of the game, when the level starts up, and let me go ahead and show you real quick. I'll just fire this up. When the level starts up, the flashlight will be turned off and the HUD will not be active. So that if you're going for the no flashlight achievement or the no HUD achievement, it won't accidentally get screwed up by the level starting with your HUD or your flashlight active. To activate your flashlight on the controller, it is the right directional. On the keyboard, it is the F key. To activate your HUD on the controller, it is the down directional, and on the keyboard, it is the H key, just like that. Okay, now the other thing I wanted to show you in here, I do have all of my switches. Functionality is working in this. I have very specific sounds assigned to very specific textures. So my dirt sounds like dirt, my stone sounds like stone, my wood sounds like wood. I think that's very important. But the way I've done my flashlight and this light, this is what I call clarity through proximity, and I've done this in every single level, is I attached a point light to the character so that if you want that no flashlight achievement, you still have at least a little bit of visibility. This is to simulate what the human eye normally does. Even in a dark environment, if you get close enough to something, it's going to become a little bit clearer. And I've done this in all the levels. What I did was I took a point light, attached it to the character, matched it exactly to the environmental light so that we have that clarity through proximity. Now what I did with the flashlight is, if you know me, then you know one of my biggest bitches in video games is the way they do flashlights. One example is Left 4 Dead. Now as much as I love Left 4 Dead, and I do, the problem I have with the flashlights is, even though the flashlights and the flashlight cones look really good in Left 4 Dead, they cast zero ambient light. It is just that cone. But in real life, flashlights always create a little bit of ambient light, especially when you shine them off a light or white surface. That will cause a reflection of ambient light to come off of that surface. So one of the things that the point light attached to the character does is to simulate that ambient light. The other thing it does is, my biggest bitch with flashlights, you probably know, is when a flashlight is attached to a character's person. And Zed's flashlight is going to be attached to his backpack strap on his torso, just the same as Joel in The Last of Us. But in The Last of Us, and in the Uncharted series especially, the flashlights are very unrealistic, because even though Joel wears his flashlight attached to his torso, and Nathan Drake wears his flashlight attached to his belt, the cone of light follows their vision precisely. I mean, in Uncharted, you can swing the camera around in front of Drake. You will see the flashlight on his belt, and that cone of light will be shining on the wall freaking behind him. Okay, I understand that the developers want the players to be able to see what they're doing, but goddamn it, that's taking it too fucking far. That is just, no, absolutely not. So what I have done is, by attaching that point light, the cone of light will not follow Zed's viewpoint up and down. It will only follow him left and right, which is more realistic with it being attached to his torso. The addition of that ambient light with its brightness being altered will still allow you to see the ceiling. It will still allow you to see the floor and be able to search while maintaining a bit more of a realistic flashlight look than you generally get in a game. It still gives you very good vision, and it makes the flashlight much more realistic. Not completely realistic by any means, but much more realistic. All right, now as I said in the last one, or I said in this one, I said in one of them. Anyways, so the object in all of the levels is to collect the 3 stone idols, place them where they need to go, collect the portal key, place it where it needs to go, activate the portal so that you can use the portal to move to the next level. Unfortunately, the portal triggers will not work in the editor. I actually have to fire up the UDK game launcher and play the game for the portal triggers to work. So in the next episode, that is exactly what I am going to do. I am going to fire it up. I am going to play a little bit for you. But before I do, I would like to point out that you saw when I jumped into this one, I've got a shotgun. Yeah, this thing. The reason I have this came from the it's the Dark Arts 3D Gaz 661 weapons pack. It's royalty-free content, but I will not be using any of the Gaz weapons in the game. I installed the pack to, one, give Zed something than the default link gun, which I don't like, to give him an actual firearm, and 2, the link gun does not have iron sights. It's got a secondary fire mode, whereas the shotgun has iron sights. The Gaz weapons all have iron sights. However, I don't like the way the iron sights work because A, it's just too much of a zoom, and B, it really slows character movement down by way too much, and I don't like how much it slows character movement down. But what I do have is access to the source code now, so I can bring my own weapons in and use the Dark Arts 3D source code and just alter that zoom intensity and alter the movement speed, and I will be able to bring in my custom weapons, and I've already got coding that's got iron sight in it. I just need to adjust it. So that's why I'm using this, but these weapons will go away and they will be replaced with my custom weapons. All right. Now with that said, please do not forget to check the links in the description below for the Disabled American Veterans and the Wounded Warriors Project. Let's please help support our veterans. If you liked the video, then hit the like button, subscribe, and share. Tell your friends and family to hit the like button, subscribe, and share. Please don't forget to leave a comment. They are always welcome, good, bad, or somewhere in between. Thank you very much for watching. I greatly appreciate every single one of you. You guys freaking rock. You're awesome. And until next time, this is Brian Bad Hippie Jackson saying peace, love, clean underwear, and happy gaming.